Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Slow Burn Pro Wrestling Podcast, where all professional wrestling storylines live. I am your host, Matt Brannon, and I have a special show for you guys here today. First off, let me just go ahead and tell you, I have a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to get through. I'm going to probably go a little fast. This is going to seem a little bit rushed today, but we've got some stuff to talk about. So we are going to talk and talk and talk, or I say we, I'm going to, and then we're going to go from there. But my God, what a week of wrestling do we have, guys? Number one, Raw. Freaking awesome. First off, I want to start things off by saying, very good friend of mine, Trey Larissy, I know you listen to the show. Thank you so much for taking me, putting up with a few lives that I did while we were there. Just thank you. It was a hell of an experience, and I'm just glad that I was able to go. And yeah, it was neat. I'd never been to a big event like that in Atlanta, and as far as wrestling event, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. So, and we'll talk a little bit more. I want to say that. Let me go ahead and I want to make one thing clear. All right, I have been. Let's just start what it is. I have been to major wrestling events, whether it be Monday Night Raw, SmackDowns. I've been to PLEs, the old school pay-per-views. I have been to all of. I've been going to wrestling events live since the early 1980s. I have seen house shows. I have seen everything recorded from WWF, WCW, the old NWA, AWA, the old world class champ. I have seen it all live, and I am so happy. AEW as well, TNA as well, represent. But like, to me, a WWE show has to navigate by the crowd. And I want to say, and I'm going to be very clear about it. I know I'm going to probably upset some people here, but the Atlanta crowd was not hot. Okay, that Atlanta crowd, to me, it took a very long time to really get that crowd going. Now, I want to say the show ended up being great. However, up until maybe the last 30 minutes of the show was very pedestrian. It just was kind of slow. I didn't see a lot develop. Now, there was some decent stuff that happened. It's not like it was a do nothing night, but I just felt like the crowd was very laid back. And, you know, I'm a St. Louis guy. We know that St. Louis is one of the greatest professional wrestling cities in the whole entire world, like top notch. It's proven. Like it's historical. You talk to people, you know it. Atlanta's the same way, guys. The stuff that went, Battle at the Omni, the old WCW. I mean, NXT last night taking place at center stage, like that stuff. Flair, Dusty, the Horsemen, like Atlanta has experienced it, and I just felt that crowd Monday night it laid off a little bit. It didn't really get as hot as what I'm used to a WWE crowd getting. Now, with that said, we were in the cheap seats, and I know it's a different vibe up top. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It was different, but all in all, it was a great experience. First off, State Farm Arena in Atlanta is wonderful. All right, you compare it to the Enterprise in St. Louis; they're very similar in size, the way the concourse areas are, but great freaking job. And it was a good show. I felt that the crowd should have been hotter. And you know what? I can judge because I'm the fan here, right? You know what I mean? Like I always say, I don't want to get super technical in my critiques of the wrestlers. I'm not a fucking wrestler, right? I'm a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling mark. Okay. So I'm not going to always go in there and just critique wrestling. Now, when it's blatant, I'm going to call it what it is because I consider myself an expert, right? I mean, you're listening, so maybe you do too. I don't know, all four of you. But the thing of it is like, I think I can judge a crowd. I feel like I've been through it enough and been to enough events that I can judge a crowd. And I felt like a crowd really makes it. When you hear things about wrestlers, they always talk about how a crowd drives what they do. A hot crowd makes all the difference. You've heard AEW guys recently saying being in those smaller venues have made the show so much better and so much more impactful because of the in-depth attention that the crowd has given the wrestlers. We didn't get that Monday night until about 30 minutes. And I wouldn't like they were sitting on their hands, but I don't know. I have been in better situations as far as a crowd at a wrestling event, and again, maybe that's just the vibe that I came into. Maybe I'm used to something different. I don't know if you were there. Tell me what you think. Shoot me a message on Facebook. Shoot me an email, whatever. That's SlowBurnWrestlingPod at yahoo.com. You got all of our social stuff, guys. But let me know what you think. I don't know. I thought it lacked. thought it lacked. So anyway, let's get into the Raw stuff, guys. I know it's 2 days ago. We also have NXT to talk about, and I want to preview Dynamite tonight. So we have a lot to get through, not to mention the fact that the Royal Rumble is Saturday. My God, WrestleMania season starts Saturday. Thank you. We are almost there, right? So let's get to Raw. The last Raw before the Royal Rumble. First off, I'm not going to talk in depth about every segment. It's just too much. I know sometimes I like to do that with Raw because it's that special of a show. Not going to do that today. Let's talk about the opening segment. Seth Rollins opens up. Anytime Seth opens up a Raw, it's good. All right. There's something different to me about Monday Night Rollins. Like, I don't know. That works for me. So Seth opening up the show was awesome. Gunther coming down, that was awesome. And then honestly, you knew you were going to get Logan Paul. I honestly didn't think he would come out there. But yeah, we get Logan Paul in that opening segment as well. So like awesome stuff there. But I want to say, like the big thing, I've read some stuff where people like it was a lame entrance, like there's no story development after that. I disagree, because what I thought you saw in that segment was something that we're not really focusing on moving into the Rumble. Because guys, I'm sorry, you're not thinking a ton about Gunther right now. You're just not. You're thinking about Roman in the Rumble. You're thinking about freaking Cena in the Rumble. You know, you're thinking about that main event match with Cody and KO. Like, you're thinking about Punk in the Rumble, right? So, like, I just think that that's a lot of people's focus, especially the normal average wrestling fan. So, like, to me, they're able to actually lead to more by giving Seth and Gunther and then throwing Logan Paul into that mix. I think it's awesome. Now, do I think that Seth or Logan Paul have a chance to win the Royal Rumble? We'll get to my predictions later. All right. The other thing is, it's kind of interesting to see what happens with Gunther. Who's next for Gunther? And I think they could go a lot of different ways. I wouldn't mind to see a Logan Paul Gunther match. If you want to freaking get away to turn Gunther babyface and get the crowd behind him, because they're close anyway. Gunther is close to being over as a baby, whether you like it or not. He's loved. But to see him like the mat tactician, the ring general, versus the freaking fly-by-night Logan Paul, which is how he's looked at, that could be a lot of fun. So I'm here for that one if it happens. I want to say this though. You guys know I like to kind of break down promos sometimes. I want to say one thing about that segment. Gunther stole the show. All right, and a lot of people, he gets some bad stuff for his mic work. He is fantastic on the stick, especially being that English is not his first or second language. Like, it's pretty crazy to think about that. But what he did, first off, I loved when he started talking about Jay. Like, he was like, "You guys, the crowd's going, they're eating." By the way, that was probably my yeet chant. All right. I try hard to get crowds going, and then it's because I'm an idiot. But I think the yeet chant, that one was mine. I really do. I think that one was mine. But regardless, I loved what Gunther said, and I beat his ass. Like, that was more emotion than what we've seen out of Gunther, like maybe ever. And he basically just told the crowd, yeah, he might be your boy. Jay might be your boy, but I beat his ass. And that was awesome. That was really awesome. The other moment that I take from Gunther in that segment is when he looked at Seth, and I giggled. He looked at Seth and he goes, no, I changed my mind. I don't want to fight you anymore. I want you to win the Royal Rumble. And he points at Logan Paul. Like, that was a breaking moment right there. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that helped Gunther win that segment. And it really kept him relevant too, moving into Rumble, because honestly, we don't know where he's headed. It's WrestleMania season. We don't know where that belt is headed. So I'm good with it. It really gave us a link to give us more. So awesome job. Shortly after that, we had the Punk interview backstage. We had the Sammy interaction. I'm going to talk some more about Sammy moving forward. Obviously, we'll get some more Punk too. That was an interesting little segment. The week before, Punk says he didn't think Sammy was on his level. Sammy just tells him, yeah, you're right. I'm not on your level. I was a main eventer in WrestleMania. What have you done? Well, first off, I love Sami Zayn, but I freaking CM Punk, really. He's the man, and I think he is the best in the world. And as far as the whole entire package of what he does, but Sammy, you're not on his level. I love El Generico more than the next guy. He's probably, as far as like modern day stuff going on right now, Sami Zayn is maybe my favorite guy to watch in ring. Uh, you ain't seeing Punk, dog. You're just not. Let's see. Let's move on down the line here. Tag match. Tag match. War Raiders once again victorious, keeping their strap. Freaking Ivar, man. Ivar can go. Ivar can absolutely go. And he showed that again. But, guys, like him, hate him, whatever, Dominic Mysterio was the best wrestler in that match. Okay? Dominic Mysterio gets more out of what he can do than any other person in the business. And to think that he's only been in it for a short period of time, I mean, he's been in it his whole life, but to think that he's only been on this stage for a short period of time, I mean, it is damn impressive. And as we're seeing the Judgment Day kind of crumble, it's going to be interesting to see which route they go. I have a feeling they're getting ready to strap a rocket on Dom's ass. We'll see where they go with it, but, it could be good. The other thing in that match, and again, War Raiders win. They get the win. You kind of knew that was going to happen, but you have to mention J.D. McDonough. I don't know if you've heard this or not. It was pretty big news right off the bat. J.D. McDonough was pretty seriously injured in the match with the War Raiders. And it was within the first 5 minutes of the match. He attempts, if you want to go back and rewatch, they mention it on Raw. I watched back the episode. I always like to do that to see what the announcers say, stuff I missed. And watched it back, and you can really hear Michael Cole, like he is adamant that he's hurt. Like you could tell he was hurt. And, he was. Turns out that, he may have, he's got multiple broken ribs. He has a punctured lung. They're saying he has some spinal issues, most likely concussion. I'm not sure if he's still in the hospital. I know he was in the hospital in Atlanta. They said once he came back, that was the thing. They knew he was hurt backstage. And guys, there's a lot of communication that goes on in a wrestling ring. I hope we all are aware of that. They tried to get JD McDonough to back out of that match and just basically take the rest of it off, get some medical attention. Dude refused. All right. He said there were spots to do. He was going to execute his spots. They were going to finish the match. He collapsed backstage. As soon as he got to Gorilla, he collapsed to a standing ovation, I might add, by the rest of the boys, but and girls. But guys, I've said this to other people. First off, no one in the world today bumps like JD McDonough. He takes bumps better than anyone, period. I don't care. I really don't. He sells, and his bumps are absolutely outrageous. Now, part of that is because he can't help but take bumps because his head is so huge. But, to what he goes through and what he puts his body through for the enjoyment of us, of fans, like, my God, thanks, man. Like, thank you. Really, seriously, thank you. And I'd say that a lot. Like, I'm so thankful for what professional wrestlers do for me, for my entertainment, what they get me through. And that was a prime example. And JD McDonough, he gained a lot of respect from a lot of people that night. And again, like him or hate him, that dude wanted to finish that match, wanted to finish his high spots because he wanted to entertain the fans and progress a story. That's what wrestling's all about, guys. That is what wrestling is all about. So, tip of the hat to JD McDonough. Well done. And the match was good. The match was really good. Let's see. What else did we have? Rey Mysterio, Xavier Woods. We have more of the New Day sucks stuff. We know that. Rey goes over. The stuff with Woods' family is kind of interesting. Why was Little Yachty? I said Little. Why was Little Yachty sitting with Xavier Woods' family? I haven't quite figured that one out. A lot of rap stars in the crowd. A lot of rap stars and other stars that I didn't know were stars. I think maybe we're getting a little liberal with that name, stars. But regardless, that was a decent match. The New Day stuff, or the New Day suck stuff, is good. The family fun stuff they're doing with it, it's good. I can't wait till Rumble. They're both going to be in the Rumble, I would assume, and they're going to get flat out attacked. All right, and it's going to be awesome. Hell, you even saw it the other night with some of the bigger heels, Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne, Butch, saying, "No, thank you, you guys are even a little much for us." And I thought that was another little twist. It's showing a different side of this story of you might be a heel, but you're a dick. And I think it's really cool how they're playing off of it. The other thing I want to say, and I don't think he will be back. I hope I eat my words here. I don't think Big E's going to wrestle again. I really don't. But can you imagine right now if he comes back, the hero's welcome this dude is going to get? If he comes back to the Rumble, he's going to get the biggest pop of the night, not named Cena. Okay? Going to get the biggest pop of the night, not named Cena. All right? Or maybe Joe Hendry. There you go. I said it. But like Big E right now is going to come back on a freaking cloud of unicorns and do whatever he wants. I hope, but I don't know. You don't know. But we'll see. They could do a lot with it, and it makes you kind of wonder that maybe there's a possibility in there. I don't know. But overall, I like the direction we're going with it. We got a women's tag match, non-title match. Bianca and Naomi actually lost. They lost to Liv and Raquel. The match was not good. Okay, the match was not good. I said earlier, I don't like to really call out wrestlers. I don't want to make light of what they do. But guys, Rachel Rodriguez, that was not good. She was not good in that match. She missed some spots. She looked slow. You're putting her in there with three of the best, not just women's wrestlers, but women's workers that there is. There might not be a better worker than Naomi. And Bianca's just absolutely amazing every time she's in the ring. But like Raquel did not fit that bill. Like it just, I don't know, it didn't work for me. And we're putting her in these situations, and I think we're setting her up for failure because she's not ready for that right now. And I know she's been in for a while, but also think about all the fact that the time that she has missed in the last 2 years because of injury. So like, yeah, she's been around for a while now, but at the same time, has that length of time actually given her ring time? And that's the thing I'm wondering about it. She's a heater. I get it. She's Liv's heater. Like she's that protector. But, other than the big protector, I'm not seeing what works in the ring right now with Raquel. So, but here again, the Judgment Day, I feel like it's kind of falling apart. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get a little shift in that as well. Jay's promo, guys. Jay came out shortly after that, and I want to say that was a freaking masterclass on getting the crowd to absolutely eat out of the palm of your hand. Jey Uso is amazing. He changed his tone. He changed his inflection, still allowing the yeets. Like the way he appealed to the crowd. But the main thing, and it obviously was the most important thing he said, but the way he said it, he said, I can beat him. I can beat him. And that wasn't just to let you know that he believed. It was to let you know that all of you believe. And hey, you know what? I was upset. I know I missed that match, and I thought Jay was going over. Guys, I'm sorry. Jay's going to hold this damn belt. Jay, they're going to put a freaking belt on this guy. How can you not? He's outselling everybody in merch. He's getting the biggest pops of the night. He's been doing this for 20 freaking years. And honestly, he's been putting on great matches for 20 years. Whether it be tag matches or single match, I don't care. So I see it happening. Now, with that said, do I see his path there winning the Royal Rumble? We'll get to those predictions later. Not today. We're not doing Royal Rumble predictions today. All right? But we will get to the Royal Rumble. I'll do it on maybe a little on Friday, definitely on the Saturday Short. Saturday Short's going to be focusing on the Royal Rumble, by the way. All right? What else did we have? Another masterpiece from Jay. Let's see. We had the main event coming up, but before the main event, and I wasn't expecting this, we hear, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And guys, I know a lot of people don't like him. You're stupid. That's all I can say. Like, no, Paul Heyman is a genius. He's the most wonderful mind that has ever existed in professional wrestling. I know I'm very partial, and part of that is because of my old love for ECW. Everybody that knows me knows I'm an ECW guy from way back. I love ECW. Still like to watch the old ECW stuff. So yeah, to see Heyman was awesome. I've been lucky. I've got to see Heyman the last 3 WWE live events I've been to. So pretty sweet with that. But Heyman got to unveil. He got to unveil. Unveil. It was a baby cow. He got to unveil the new cover for the new game, WWE 2K25. Roman on the cover. Or is the wise man on the cover. Paul Heyman is in the corner. I'm saying it's Paul Heyman's cover. You can call it Roman Reigns' cover all you want. I'm saying it's Paul Heyman's cover. By the way, lots of other options for covers. There's apparently an Undertaker version of this, like a Dead Man issue that's supposed to be really good. I'm not really big into the video game side of this, but I'll always get a wrestling game and then not play it as much as I should. So yeah, it was cool to see that. I really like how the video game industry and wrestling have really kind of grown with each other, and that's awesome. And these games have always progressed, and I can't wait to see the new one. But awesome job with the cover, but even better job of Drew McIntyre's interaction with Paul Heyman. My favorite part was, "Thank you, Drew, but you're crowding me." That was basically Paul Heyman saying, "All right, I know you can kick my ass, and I'm frightened of you, but do you know who I have?" And the thing of it is, do you know who he has? He ain't just talking about Roman Reigns, guys. He's not just talking about CM Punk, guys. I have a feeling we might be seeing a beast in the Royal Rumble. One can only hope. One can only hope. But could you imagine this? Picture this. This is the only Rumble thing I'm going to give you today. And this is fantasy booking, obviously. You got one side, you're looking at Roman Reigns. The other side of your triangle, you got CM Punk, right? And then right up here in the middle, they both just glance, Brock Lesnar. All three of them connecting eyes. Then all three of them at the same time whipping their heads around and just looking at Heyman. And you just see Paul Heyman sitting there with like the great Paul Heyman shit-eating grin that I'm smarter than everyone in the room. And my God, give me that. I got freaking my hair standing up just thinking, that's my fucking idea. How about that? But like, I just imagine that. Like, that's theater. That's absolutely awesome. That's how you tell a freaking story, folks. I need to speed up a little bit. We're running out of time. I want to talk about the main event. The main event was good. I told you guys prior. If Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn are wrestling, I could watch them wrestle for 3 days straight. They are two of the best dance partners that exist in professional wrestling today. They won't have a bad match with one another. Hell, they don't have a bad match with anyone. But the way that this match progressed was great because, honestly, the stuff going on with Sami is very interesting. And one thing I want to say is the last time we saw Sami as a heel, he just so happened to be wearing that exact same green button-up shirt that he was wearing on Monday Night Raw. Put that in your crawl for a minute, okay? So are we seeing Sami heel? Are they swerving us? Sami's bitter right now. He's taking some L's. He's getting a lot of people in his head talking to him. Like, Sami's got a lot going on right now. I think this story could really go forward. By the way, neither of these guys are winning the Rumble. All right, neither of these guys are winning the Rumble. Again, we're going to do predictions, but not today. But the match was fantastic. Drew goes over. Then at the end, by the way, Drew cheats, foot on the rope. Perfect little twist to it. Sami's arguing with the referee. Drew beats the hell out of it. Then we get the Cody run in. Okay? This is where the show became absolutely unreal. All right? This is where the show went from being very average, very pedestrian, to being one of the better Raws we've had this year. Because of the fact Cody's run in, the Sami interaction, another haluva kick to Cody last week at Seth. People thinking that Sami's going heel. They're questioning. Michael Cole says it's an accident. McAfee says it might be an accident, but 2 times is it an accident? So, like, so much intrigue is going on with this play. They're really, really bringing something out of Sami. But the look of KO, after he had beat up Sami, or he beat up Cody, Sami gives him the accidental haluva kick. KO smirks, gives him a little pat on the chest, and walks out. Guys, that's storytelling. That's storytelling. And that was awesome. Then we had the masterpiece of Punk. Guys, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes had the absolute best segment of a promo with two people that we've seen in years. Okay? My favorite part, obviously, I'm going to stab you in the front. You got all these friends. They're all stabbing you in the back. I'm your one true friend. I'm going to stab you in the front. The thing of it is there was nothing that CM Punk said to Cody that wasn't true. And on the same token, there was nothing that Cody said to CM Punk that wasn't true. So you're really, really getting the most out of both of these guys, the emotion, the story background, the history. And guys, they're going to get physical. They are going to touch eventually. I don't know if it happens at Mania. We'll go through those predictions later. But it's going to happen, and it's going to be awesome. Here's the question. I've heard that people think it's going to be a 50-50 crowd split. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Punk is heavily going to be the guy that's going to be favored by the crowd. I think that, and you guys know, I want Cody heel. It's not going to happen for a while. All right, they can't. He makes too much money. His merchandise sells too much to the kids. However, if you wanted a chance to really take that idea of turning Cody heel, doing it against Punk makes more sense than doing it against anyone else, because Punk could go out and call everyone in America a piece of shit, and everyone in America is still going to love him. CM Punk does no wrong right now. And it's just who he is. It's how damn good he is. And, if you don't like him, I get it. He's maybe not for everybody, but, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. So, overall, I thought the show was good. Like I said, the Cody Punk ending made up for everything. I scored it as a B+. I'll score the last 20 minutes of it an A+. So it kind of gives you an idea where we went to. That brings us to NXT. Guys, I'm going to quickly zoom through NXT so we can get to the Dynamite preview. Bailey and Julia go over Roxanne and Cora. It was a good tag match. It was good. I'm not sure where the story develops there. I assume we're going to get more Julia and Roxanne. I know they're setting up the stage for Vengeance Day, so that'll be good. Grayson Waller effect with Obafemi. I don't like Obafemi, but I get it. I mean, he's a freaking monster. But now they're setting up that match with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus Oba at Vengeance Day. Okay, we'll see where it goes with it. By the way, I think Oba will be in the Royal Rumble. I think he'll be in the Royal Rumble. So we'll see what goes on with that. It was a decent little segment. I loved Trick's part of it, though. Trick Williams is pissed right now. And you guys know I haven't been a big Trick guy, but this version of Trick, this pissed off, you're not going to freaking stop me, Trick. Okay, I might be able to get behind that a little bit. That could be a little bit of fun. The DQ move, too. That was a great move, showing that, all right, Trick is willing to go the extra mile, pushing the ref. He's saying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my belt back. So this new little version of him is something that I really like. I think it could be awesome. Let's see. Fallon Henley goes over Shotzi. We knew that was going to happen. Ethan Page goes over Cedric Alexander. I had heard Cedric was hurt. I didn't. I was kind of surprised to see that match. It was really, really good. The match itself was good. My favorite, Ethan attacks Cedric after he gets the win. Page goes over. Enter my boy, Javon Evans. He is bouncy. I love it. I love it. Give me Javon Evans versus Ethan Page, a veteran versus that young kid. It is going to be such an awesome show. Give me that at Vengeance Day. Please. They'll steal the show. It'll be their night. I promise you it'll be their night. What else did we have? Women's tag. More stuff is going to come with that. All right. I think there's more coming as we get out. You had Bianca and Naomi taking on Lash and Jakara. Lash and Jakara are the future. But the stuff that's going to come with Naomi and Bianca, pretty good. Pretty good. We'll see. So overall, NXT, I scored it a B-. It wasn't a bad show. It's nice to be at center stage. Dynamite tonight, guys. It is going to be an interesting night. Match of the night, Mercedes Moné versus Yuka Sakazaki, the magical girl for the TBS title. That will be a decent match. We got Will Ospreay versus Brian Cage, the Swolverine. Anytime Ospreay's in the house, it's must-see television. Kenny Omega's going to be there. MJF scheduled to talk tonight. We also have JEFFJARRET taking on Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro. It's going to be quality. It's going to be quality. Let's see where they go. Are they going to keep clawing on with this Jeff Jarrett retirement? I don't know. And then lastly, Switchblade taking on Wheeler Yuta in the main event tonight. I hope it's the main event, because anytime I get to see Switchblade Jay White on TV, I am a super, super happy man. So there you go. Big night from Dynamite. Huge week still to come. We're going to take the day off tomorrow, our normal Thursday day off. I will be back at you guys on Friday. We'll preview SmackDown Friday. I'm going to get in. I'm going to totally recap TNA. TNA is going to be huge tomorrow. Try to watch it, 8 o'clock on Access TV. Also, we will start getting into our Royal Rumble predictions, okay? I know a lot of people have been shooting me some stuff, so we can't wait. So stay tuned. Guys, this has been The Slow Burn, and today we're wrestling everything. Stay on top.